All right, we got another project vehicle, or a rehabilitation, if you will. This is an '06 Trailblazer. I do know the history on the vehicle before I got it. It was very well cared for. I'd actually worked on it a little bit previously over the years. And this one is one that is due for what I would consider a rebuild. Now, engine is in great shape. Those 4.2 inline six-cylinder motors, or engines, for all purists out there that think motors are only electric, I get what you're saying. If you look it up in the dictionary, you're right. I digress. This has been a pretty good rig for the folks. I have a bunch of these that I have, bought, and you can find them on Marketplace or different areas that, either need a transmission or need some significant work. And a lot of times you can buy them for pretty reasonable. I see these all the time for around $1,000 in similar condition. This one, I know the history of it, so it's obviously worth a little bit more than that to me. But this will be a rehab that we're gonna, drive for a little while and then either distribute out to one of our kids or put it on the market and sell it. Now, when a vehicle sits, that's really the hardest thing on it. You can see the battery charger over there. Typically the battery goes bad after a few years, especially if you're not driving it every day. Brakes are not in the greatest shape. Got some rust and corrosion, so it'll get pretty much a full rebuild all the way around, front end, rear, rotors, pads, calipers at a minimum, full brake bleed. There's some trim work that needs to be done. Oh, there it is right there. We're going to put some new window shade visors on it. And there's a little bit of interior work that we're going to do to it. We've got a leaking low pressure switch that I don't know if you can see that, kind of all that goo on there. A lot of times when you have an AC leak, there's oil in that AC system. And when it leaks out, it collects dust. We're going to put a windshield in it. The wipers don't work. I haven't figured that out yet. We do have check engine light on it. And there's some maintenance that I want to do to it before we really put it back on the road. So this is just kind of view one. Like I said, a lot of times you can find these online where people have driven them till something bigger than what they want to pay for goes bad. Transmission, could be front end. We're going to go through the front end on this. The ball joints have some play in them, tie rods as well, control arm bushings. So when I talk about rehabbing it, we're going to be very, very thorough. We're going to throw a lot of parts and a lot of hours at this. But in the end, these are really dependable workhorse vehicles. The later model SUVs, unless you go into a half ton, they didn't really have a full frame under them. These are a full frame SUV. I've had the body off of these over the years, not this particular one, but really good solid vehicles. So before you get into a deep car payment, you might think about even paying retail at a shop. If you can get a vehicle pretty reasonable, avoid a car payment, avoid the interest, here in Missouri, at least the property taxes on it, or lower property taxes, I guess would be a better way to put it. You can drive these rigs for a long time. I've got some family members that have been driving them 7, 8, 10 years, 200,000-300,000 miles. Have we done some work to them over the years? Sure. But if you add it up compared to the car payment, they're crazy money ahead. So I just wanted to put that out there instead of just going down to the buy here, pay here lot and getting locked in on a lemon vehicle, or even going and buying a new one and your payment's $700 a month or whatever. It doesn't take a lot of those $700 a month payments to rehab one of these, even at full retail. Obviously, I'm going to do this service here, but just one of those ideas I wanted to throw out there and give some people some thought instead of these rigs going to the salvage yard.